This is my trusty old Gibson acoustic. It's not that old, but I think it's about 7 years old. It's an HP665 SB. It's an electroacoustic. It's got a LR Baggs pickup in it, which was the stock one that came with the guitar. This is a real a guitar that I don't talk about much. I don't go on about it and say how great it is or anything like that. It's just a real kind of workhorse guitar. So I use it a lot. I've used it on a lot of gigs. I've used it for lots and lots of lessons and recordings. I've used it a lot since I got it. I bought it brand new, which is quite unusual for me to buy a brand new guitar, but this was brand new, and I selected it out of a whole load that were in a similar price range. And I tried some Taylors and a lot of Faith guitars, which were very good actually, but this was the one that kind of spoke to me when I played it. You know, this is the one I liked the best, and I mean, I far preferred it to the Taylors I tried actually, which surprised me. I went to the shop intending to buy a Taylor, came away with this one, and it's great. It's not like a guitar that you pick up and play and think, wow, you know, that sounds amazing, that's just such the best acoustic guitar ever. It's not like that. It does sound good, but I don't ever think about it. I just get on with it. I just play it and use it for what I'm using it for. It wasn't a really expensive guitar, so I'm not that worried about it. So it's got a few little knocks on it. I try to look after it, but I'm not precious about it, not worried about it getting knocked. And it's just been a really good workhorse guitar, and I think it's the very definition of that, a workhorse guitar. It does a job. I do really like it, but I don't feel completely attached to it like some of my electric guitars. If it disappeared and I had to replace it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I'd probably buy another one the same if I could. I'm not sure if they make this model anymore actually, but yeah, if anyone's got one, I'd be interested to hear what they think of it. Please put in the comments if you've got one of these. I think there's some other ones in the range. This is obviously a smallish bodied cutaway. I think there might have been a Dreadnought one, and maybe one or two others as well. I can't remember now. I think these came out in 2017, and actually I can tell by the number which year this is. Yeah, this one's 2017. Yeah, so yeah, that's when they made them. There's a few things I wasn't sure about when I bought it, like how good the machine heads were going to be. They are Grovers, which I really like, but I've found sometimes on more modern Gibsons the Grovers aren't as good as they used to be. It's my experience, but still good. These have been great, stays in tune really well, no problems at all with that. It's got this fingerboard material called Richlite, I'm not sure how you say it. And I wasn't sure about that at all when I bought this guitar. I'd never heard of it, and it's like a synthetic material that's meant to emulate, I suppose, ebony. It looks like ebony, or maybe rosewood. To me it looks like ebony, and I wasn't sure how well that would last, how well it would wear, and you know, and what it would be like to play, you know, on a sweaty gig or something. You know, what's it going to be like? And I haven't even thought about it since I've got this guitar. I just use it and don't think about the fingerboard material. It just hasn't been an issue at all, so it's really good. This guitar's got really old strings on now that really need changing, and it still sounds good. It's a little bit mellow because of the old strings, but it still sounds good. Sounds good as a strumming guitar, maybe not as good as the equivalent Dreadnought guitar would be, but it still sounds nice for strumming. It's obviously really good for finger picking, being a smaller body. It's good for lead. I think these come with 12s or maybe even 13s on, and I think I've used 11s on it some of the time, and I've used 10s on it some of the time, and I think currently it's got 10s on. That's why I can do that. And that's because I use it for teaching sometimes, so I need to be able to do string bends and things depending on what I'm doing in my lesson. And also when I do gigs with this guitar, it's always plugged in, so the lack of bass that you get from the lighter strings isn't an issue, because you can just add that on the amp. So it always sounds really good plugged in, but on gigs the lighter strings are nicer for sort of playing lots of bar chords and things. I find it just easier. So yeah, I think 10s work well on this. So really good guitar, rosewood back and sides, spruce top, solid top. Can't remember if the back and sides are solid. I think they maybe are on this guitar. Bridge pins, good quality. These are the kind of things to look for on acoustics. You know, on cheap acoustics, the bridge pins sometimes look nice and they feel perfectly good when you take them out, and they seem like good quality. But the thing you notice on it, more expensive guitars or acoustic guitars, or better make acoustic guitars, is that the bridge pins come out really easily but still do the job. So if you get a Taylor or a Martin or a Gibson or something, you can loosen the string off and usually you can just pull the bridge pin out, whereas with some cheaper makes you've got to really fight to get the pin out, and they end up breaking. So these have been really good. They're very plain but to look at, but they do the job perfectly well. The end pin is the jack socket and the strap attachment button, and it's got a normal strap button there, and I've never had any problems with that, because sometimes these come loose. This one never has, touch wood. The pickup's powered by a 9-volt battery, which is in a little pouch in there, velcroed to the side of the guitar. That's never come away, which like they often do. So it's just a well-built guitar that does the job really well. So I do really like it, and I quite like the fact that I'm not that worried about it, and it isn't my favourite guitar or anything like that, and it is just a guitar that does the job really well. Because some of my other guitars I get really kind of into, and I just think it'd be a disaster if they disappeared or broke or anything. But with this, I don't feel like I'm attached to it particularly. It's just a really good guitar to do the job it does. So I'd really recommend these, and it's also got a good kind of vibe about it. You know, you do want to play it when you pick it up. It's something about it, it does make you want to play it. I really like the design of the body, like the size and the shape. It's not quite as small as something like a parlour guitar, but it's definitely smaller than a Dreadnought, and it's very comfortable to play. I tend to play like this a lot of the time, and it just sits there. You know, my arm holds it, and it just sits there really nice. And when it's got new strings on, it sounds a lot better than it does now. But I'm only using the camera's mic for this, and just wanted to do a quick update review of this. I did one when I first got it, which you can see on here. I'll put a link in the description of my first impressions, and also I think I did a 6-month update. I think after I had guitar about 6 months, I think I did another video. I think if I did, I'll put that in the description as well. Sort of, you know, saying what I thought of it after a few months of ownership. Anyway, great guitar, Gibson HP665 SB. Recommended. Okay, thanks for watching.